Have you ever felt the weight of someone else's negativity pressing down on your life, quietly stealing your peace, your joy, your purpose? As we stand at the edge of a new year, I want you to pause and ask yourself a hard question. Who in your life is holding you back from stepping into the greatness that 2026 is waiting to pour into you? Life is too short, too precious to carry people who drain your energy, cloud your vision, and kill your dream. You owe it to yourself to rise, to fight for your peace, and to protect your future with the ferocity of a lion protecting its territory. Listen to me carefully. Not everyone you call a friend, not everyone who smiles in your presence is meant to stay in your story. Some people are walking obstacles, disguised as companions. Some people thrive on your doubt, feed on your hesitation, and quietly celebrate when you hesitate. Before 2026 begins, it's time to clean house. It's time to set boundaries that will shock those who underestimated your courage. Time to remove the people whose presence keeps you from becoming the person you were born to be. Before another year slips through your fingers, understand this. Your energy is sacred. Your dreams are fragile treasures that need protection. Those who sow chaos, jealousy, or doubt in your life, no matter how long they've been around, cannot come with you into the life you're building. You cannot soar with anchors weighing you down. You must cut them loose, not out of anger, but out of love for yourself, out of faith in the greatness God has already placed inside you. 2026 is not just another year. It is a year of elevation, of destiny, of breakthroughs, and the people around you must reflect the vision you're chasing, not diminish it. Have you ever shared your struggles with someone you trusted only to feel an invisible chill in their eyes? A subtle satisfaction you couldn't quite name. That's the truth about some people. They wear the mask of concern, the smile of empathy, but deep down, they celebrate your pain. They thrive in the shadows of your discomfort, feeding on the very moments that make you question yourself. This is not just negativity. This is a quiet, dangerous form of sabotage. They laugh when you're not looking, they rejoice when your plans falter, and they cloak their cruelty in words that sound tender. They pretend to be your cheerleaders, yet every cheer is laced with an unspoken hope that you fail. If you have these people in your life, recognize them before 2026 begins, because your future cannot afford passengers disguised as friends. Your energy, your dreams, and your peace are far too valuable to let such predators linger in your space. You see, they are master actors. They know how to disguise envy, resentment, and malice in language that feels safe. I'm just worried about you, they say, as though their concern is the reason they point out every flaw, every misstep, every vulnerability you expose. But listen closely. There is a difference between real concern and hidden satisfaction. Real concern builds you up, motivates you, and inspires action. Hidden satisfaction from someone else's pain shrinks you, isolates you, and leaves you questioning your worth. These people do not have your back. They do not pray for your breakthrough. They silently wish you stumble so they can feel superior in comparison. Recognizing them is not just smart, it is necessary. Sometimes you ignore the signs because they've been around so long. They've become comfortable fixtures in your life, people you believe have always been part of your story. But longevity doesn't equal loyalty. Time does not erase toxicity. Just because someone has listened to your struggles for years doesn't mean they genuinely care about your healing or your growth. Some people stay close to monitor your setbacks, to validate their own choices by seeing you struggle. You must ask yourself, do I want these observers of my pain in my life when I'm stepping into a new year of purpose, power, and progress? The answer is clear. You cannot allow them to carry your energy into 2026. Their words are crafted to sting while appearing gentle. Are you sure you can handle this? I don't want you to get hurt. These sound harmless, even loving, until you realize the undercurrent. A hope that you fail. They disguise their jealousy as guidance, their resentment as care, their bitterness as advice. They will plant seeds of doubt in your mind, and even if you succeed, they will find a way to minimize it, to downplay your victory, and to remind you of the past when you stumbled. Understand this. Your dreams are sacred, and the people who pretend to care while rejoicing in your pain are nothing but thieves in disguise. You must also realize that these people often appear when you are vulnerable. Pain is a magnet for the deceitful. When life hits you hard, when your heart aches, or when your confidence wavers, they show up supporting you only to make your wounds feel heavier. Their goal is never healing, it is spectacle. Your pain becomes their entertainment. They are addicted to your suffering, and their presence in your life normalizes despair. Imagine entering 2026 with such people still embedded in your inner circle. They will pull you backward when the universe is pushing you forward. Recognizing this truth is the first step to liberation. Sometimes their attacks are subtle, almost invisible. A joke here, a passive-aggressive comment there, and before you know it, you are questioning yourself. They are experts in disguising cruelty as humor or concern. Their joy in your pain is masked so well that it takes clarity, courage, and reflection to see it for what it truly is. But when you do, you can no longer ignore it. You must remove these disguised enemies before they sabotage your ambitions, your peace, and your spirit. You must see them clearly to protect the life you are destined to build. Remember, eliminating these people is not about revenge, bitterness, or hate. It is about self-preservation and self-respect. It is about sending a clear message to the universe that your life, your energy, and your purpose are non-negotiable. Their disguised celebration of your pain is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their insecurity and moral deficiency. You cannot carry their shadows into your light. You cannot allow the quiet venom of disguised concern to infect the life you are trying to elevate. Your liberation from these disguised celebrants begins with honesty. Admit it to yourself. Some people in your life are not your allies. Some are dressed in masks that look like love, friendship, and concern, but underneath they rejoice in your setbacks. Naming them, recognizing them, and consciously detaching from them is not cruel. It is necessary. It is a sacred act of self-love and courage. It is the act of telling the world that your future is yours to protect and that no one will dictate the terms of your joy. As 2026 approaches, imagine the weight lifted off your shoulders when you no longer entertain those who celebrate your pain in disguise. Picture your mind clear, your heart light, your spirit unshakable. That is the life you are entitled to, the life you were born to pursue. You cannot achieve it while carrying around invisible enemies masquerading as friends. Your growth, your success, and your peace demand your vigilance. Removing them is not optional. It is essential for the life you are meant to live. Take courage now. Step into the next year with the strength to protect your soul, the clarity to discern true allies from disguised celebrants, and the courage to eliminate anyone who cheers in secret while you stumble. Your life is too precious, too valuable, and too destined for greatness to allow anything less. Say goodbye to those who rejoice in your pain. Embrace your peace and step boldly into the 2026 that is waiting for you. Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely exhausted, as if you had run a marathon without moving a single step? That is what happens when you allow energy vampires into your life. Some people have perfected the art of taking, and giving nothing in return. They are like black holes, consuming your time, your focus, and your emotional strength, leaving you empty and depleted. They rarely ask how you are, rarely celebrate your victories, and rarely contribute to your joy. Instead, their presence is a constant drain, a slow erosion of your vitality. As we approach 2026, ask yourself this: can you really step into your next level with people around you who only take and never build? The answer is no. Your energy is sacred, your time is precious, and those who drain you have no place in the life you are destined to create. These people are master manipulators. They know exactly how to make you feel responsible for their happiness, their mood, their problems. They will tell you about their struggles over and over, demanding attention, validation, and sympathy while rarely acknowledging your needs. Every encounter with them leaves you exhausted, anxious, and questioning your own limits. They will subtly guilt you into giving more than you have, convincing you that your energy exists to serve them. But your life is not an emotional warehouse for someone else's chaos. 2026 demands that you protect your vitality with the ferocity of a warrior guarding sacred ground. Sometimes we allow these energy drainers to persist because they are familiar. They've been around for years and we've grown accustomed to their patterns. But familiarity is not loyalty, and history is not a reason to sacrifice your present and future. Every moment spent with someone who drains your energy is a moment stolen from your dreams. Before 2026 begins, it's time to make a conscious decision. Do not give another ounce of your life to someone who will never reciprocate. Life is too short and your purpose too big to be tethered to people who siphon your energy while offering nothing in return. They may appear charming, even lovable when it suits them. Their smiles, their words, their gestures are carefully calculated to draw you in, to make you feel needed, important, and appreciated. But beneath the surface lies an invisible debt. They take endlessly and rarely, if ever, give back. Over time, the small drains accumulate into exhaustion, frustration, and diminished capacity. You cannot rise to your potential when your energy is constantly being siphoned. Recognize the pattern, see it clearly, and act decisively. Energy drainers often present themselves as victims. I have so many problems, they say, as though their struggles are your responsibility. They expect your emotional labor without asking, expecting you to solve their issues, support their weaknesses, and carry their burdens. And if you refuse, they guilt you, manipulate you, or subtly attack your character. This is not love. This is not friendship. This is parasitic behavior designed to consume your focus and keep you small. 2026 is not the year to allow this to continue. Sometimes energy drainers disguise themselves as mentors, advisors, or confidants. They speak wisdom, give advice, and offer guidance, but only when it benefits them. They will inspire you momentarily, then leave you drained and questioning your worth. They thrive on your dependence, your need for approval, your desire to help. They feed on your generosity and kindness, twisting it into obligation. If you are serious about growth, if you are serious about your purpose, you cannot allow disguised vampires to shadow your path into the new year. The worst part is how subtle they are. You may not notice the drain until it has become habitual. You might accept exhaustion as normal, fatigue as a sign of dedication, and emotional depletion as a cost of friendship. But it is not normal. It is not necessary. It is not acceptable. Your energy is currency, your focus is power, and your presence in this world is sacred. Anyone who takes without giving back is not contributing. They are subtracting. Recognize it, name it, and eliminate it before 2026 begins. It's also about respect. Respect for yourself, your time, your goals, and your peace. Life will test you in many ways, but the first step in guarding your destiny is to guard your energy. People who drain without giving are obstacles to your growth. They will keep you exhausted, distracted, and stuck in cycles of frustration. You cannot allow this if you intend to achieve breakthroughs, create impact, and live fully. Removing them is not selfish, it is necessary. Imagine entering 2026 with your energy fully intact, unburdened by the weight of those who take without giving. Imagine clarity of mind, strength of spirit, and peace of heart, unshaken by the demands of others. That is the life you deserve. You cannot have it while carrying energy drainers on your back. Let them go. Protect your vitality, guard your dreams, elevate yourself above the pull of those who never add to your life. Take this truth deeply into your soul. 2026 is a year for energy, focus, and relentless pursuit of purpose. Those who drain without giving have no place in your journey. Step away, cut ties, and protect your sacred space. Your energy is too valuable, your future too bright, and your destiny too important to waste on people who are addicted to taking without giving. Enter the new year free, strong, and unstoppable. Have you ever shared a vision, a goal, a dream burning inside your soul, only to be met with subtle doubt, a smirk, or a carefully disguised critique? That's the danger of people who undermine your dreams while pretending to support you. They act like they are rooting for you, nodding, listening, giving advice. But every word, every gesture, every reaction is designed to make you question yourself. They sow seeds of doubt in the soil of your ambition, and those seeds grow quietly, slowly, until you begin to question your own ability, your own worth, your own destiny. You see, some people are experts at camouflaging envy, fear, and insecurity as concern. They will smile, offer words that sound encouraging, and even celebrate small wins. But the moment you aim higher, they shrink from your vision and subtly work against it. These people are dangerous because they look like allies. They sit beside you in meetings, nod in agreement during conversations, and appear genuinely excited when you take small steps forward. But behind the smiles is a quiet hope that you won't succeed. They cannot bear to see you rise faster, dream bigger, or step into the life they secretly desire for themselves. Every suggestion, every comment, every friendly advice they offer has a hidden agenda to contain your greatness. Before 2026 begins, you must recognize them. You must see clearly who celebrates you authentically and who masks sabotage with sympathy. Often, they cloak their undermining behavior in wisdom. Are you sure this is realistic? I just want you to be safe. Don't get your hopes too high. They speak as though protecting you, but in reality, they are protecting their own ego from being overshadowed. They fear your potential because it reminds them of the dreams they never chased, the risks they never took, and the courage they never summoned. When someone subtly undermines your dreams, it is not about you. It is about their own insecurity and fear. Your mission is not to accommodate their weakness, but to protect your vision. Sometimes their interference is even more subtle. They remain silent during your triumphs, fail to celebrate your milestones, or dismiss your progress with half-hearted acknowledgement. They never genuinely cheer for your victories because it forces them to confront their own mediocrity. Their support is conditional, fragile, and ultimately self-serving. True supporters rejoice unconditionally in your success. They elevate, inspire, and empower you without envy, without reservation, without hidden motives. Recognizing the difference is crucial for stepping into your future fully. The tragedy is that many of us tolerate these people because they are close, family, longtime friends, or colleagues we've known for years. We rationalize their behavior, excuse their critiques, and pretend that their disguised sabotage is harmless. But the truth is clear. The energy they drain from your ambition, the subtle discouragement they implant in your mind, and the quiet doubts they nurture can stunt your growth, delay your breakthroughs, and rob you of the future you were meant to claim. They will often smile when you speak, nod in agreement, and even give you the appearance of support, but their silence in moments that matter speaks louder than any words. When you need encouragement, validation, or guidance, they offer hesitancy or criticism. When you need celebration, they offer minimal acknowledgement. They pretend to be your cheerleaders, but they are not cheering. They are observing, measuring, and hoping you falter. This kind of presence is toxic. It is a slow, invisible weight that prevents you from soaring. Understanding this is essential. Dreams are sacred. Your vision for your life, your ambitions, and your purpose are not negotiable. You cannot allow disguised naysayers to linger in your circle when you are preparing to step into 2026 with clarity, focus, and power. The voices that undermine, even subtly, have no place in the inner sanctum of your future. Protect your dream as if it were your very life, because in many ways, it is. Recognizing the pattern takes courage. It requires honesty, reflection, and sometimes painful discernment. You must examine each relationship through the lens of your destiny. Does this person truly lift me up, or do they subtly contain my potential? Are they here to support my growth, or are they secretly rooting for my hesitation? The clarity gained from this self-assessment will allow you to make decisions that protect your ambitions and safeguard your peace. Eliminating these disguised dream underminers is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of self-respect, self-preservation, and vision. It is the act of saying to the universe, my dreams are sacred, my ambition is unstoppable, and no one will quietly chip away at my destiny. Your life is too precious, your goals too significant, and your future too bright to be slowed by disguised critics. The new year demands clarity, courage, and decisiveness. Step boldly into 2026 with a vision untouched by sabotage. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your progress loudly, support your risks wholeheartedly, and empower your ambitions relentlessly. Release those who secretly cheer for your hesitation, mask envy with sympathy, and undermine your dreams in silence. This is not just preparation for a new year, it is preparation for a new life, a new level, a new you. Protect your dreams, guard your vision, elevate your circle. The year ahead is yours to conquer, and no one will be allowed to shadow your greatness. Have you ever noticed how some people are always around when things are easy, but the moment life gets difficult, they disappear like smoke in the wind? These are the fair weather companions, the ones who claim to care but vanish when support is needed most. They show up for the celebrations, the victories, the small joys, but when the storms arrive, when the challenges hit, when your faith, courage, and endurance are tested, they are nowhere to be found. They are not true friends, not real allies, not people invested in your growth or your destiny. They are spectators, only present when life is convenient for them, never when life is inconvenient for you. Before 2026 begins, it's time to recognize them, release them, and stop letting temporary presence define permanent loyalty. Fair weather companions are experts at disguising their absence as concern or busyness. They'll make excuses, tell you they're overwhelmed, or claim they have obligations, but deep down they simply lack the courage to stand with you in moments that demand courage. They are not willing to invest in the discomfort that comes with supporting someone's growth. True support is inconvenient. True loyalty is inconvenient. Anyone who cannot inconvenience themselves for you when life demands it is not meant to be part of your inner circle. Your journey into 2026 requires people who will not only celebrate your wins, but will also hold the umbrella when the storm rages. Sometimes we tolerate these fair weather companions because of shared history or convenience. We cling to familiarity, assuming their presence in the good times is enough to justify their absence in the bad. But history is not a measure of loyalty, and convenience is not a substitute for commitment. These people take without giving, vanish without explanation, and leave behind a hollow space where trust should reside. Your life is too valuable to be shadowed by those who only choose proximity when it suits them. 2026 is calling for clarity, courage, and discernment. They will often appear during easy moments, laughing at jokes, attending events, or celebrating your success. But their loyalty is conditional. It is not rooted in love, respect, or true friendship. It is rooted in comfort, convenience, and self-interest. They are present when the rewards are visible, but absent when effort, risk, or sacrifice is required. Imagine stepping into the new year aiming for breakthroughs and transformation while carrying people whose support is conditional at best. Their presence will not elevate you. They will subtly anchor you to mediocrity. The danger is that fair weather companions can make you feel alone, even in a crowd. When life tests you, their absence becomes painfully visible, and you realize that the foundation of their presence was never loyalty, it was convenience. They may apologize later, offer excuses, or promise better behavior in the future, but actions speak louder than words. Consistent absence during critical moments is a red flag you cannot ignore. Your peace, your energy, and your progress demand decisive action. It is also about self-respect. Allowing fair weather companions to occupy space in your life is a betrayal of your own worth. Your time, your heart, and your dreams deserve people who show up consistently, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it requires sacrifice. Surround yourself with those whose presence is dependable, whose commitment is unwavering, and whose loyalty is proven under pressure. These are the people who will walk with you into 2026 and beyond. Fair weather companions often come with charm and smiles, convincing you that their absence is temporary, that life got in the way, or that you are overreacting. But repeated patterns do not lie. Their consistency in absence reveals their true character. You must trust the evidence of their actions, not the excuses of their words. 2026 is not the year for tolerance of inconsistency. It is the year for accountability, for clarity, and for loyalty that withstands storms. Recognizing these people is the first step toward liberation. It is the act of reclaiming your time, your peace, and your energy. It is the act of saying, I will not allow convenience to masquerade as loyalty. I will not allow temporary presence to define permanent relationships. I will surround myself only with those who are willing to stand with me through storms, challenges, and growth. This is not harsh, it is necessary. Imagine the power of entering 2026 free from those who only appear when life is easy. Imagine the clarity of mind, the strength of spirit, and the unwavering confidence that comes from surrounding yourself with true allies. That is the life you deserve. You cannot allow fair weather companions to cloud your vision, drain your energy, or delay your progress. Step boldly into the new year with people whose presence is real, proven, and dependable. Take courage and act decisively. Release those who only show up when it is convenient. Protect your peace, preserve your energy, and elevate your circle. 2026 is a year for growth, breakthroughs, and destiny. You cannot carry people who abandon you during storms and expect to soar. Step into the year with clarity, with loyalty that is mutual, and with a circle that will walk through fire with you. Your future demands it. Have you ever shared a vision, a plan, or even a small step forward with someone only to be met with criticism, judgment, or unsolicited advice? That is the reality of people who judge rather than support. They cannot celebrate your growth because it reminds them of their own stagnation. They cannot honor your ambition because it highlights their complacency. Every choice you make, every risk you take, every victory you earn is filtered through their lens of judgment. And what starts as subtle commentary can slowly morph into doubt, guilt, or insecurity in your own mind. Before 2026 begins, it's time to recognize them, to remove them, and to stop allowing the judgments of others to hinder your progress. Your growth is sacred, and you cannot allow someone else's limited perspective to dictate your life. Judgmental people often cloak their criticism as concern. Are you sure that's a good idea? I just don't want to see you fail. I think you should reconsider. On the surface, it sounds caring, but beneath it lies control, insecurity, and fear of your success. They want to keep you small, comfortable, and confined within the boundaries they set. Real support does not impose limitations. It does not question your worthiness to succeed. Real support empowers, encourages, and stands beside you when you step into the unknown. These judgmental voices, disguised as guidance, can subtly erode your confidence if left unchecked. They will often criticize in ways that make you doubt yourself. Their comments may be hidden in humor, casual conversation, or well-intentioned advice, but the effect is the same: hesitation, second guessing, and fear. They thrive when you shrink, when you silence your ambition, when you doubt your ability to rise above the ordinary. Your dreams, your growth, and your potential are too important to allow judgmental voices to infiltrate your space. 2026 requires clarity, courage, and a circle that elevates instead of constrains. Sometimes these people are close to you, family, friends, colleagues, but their proximity does not excuse their behavior. Their judgment can feel like love, like protection, or even like mentorship. But no matter how long they've been in your life, their criticism chips away at your confidence, distracts from your purpose, and sows seeds of hesitation. You must evaluate relationships through the lens of growth. Does this person inspire, encourage, and elevate me? Or do they diminish, doubt, and restrict me? Judgmental people are often insecure themselves. They cannot tolerate your progress because it reminds them of their own unfulfilled potential. They are uncomfortable with your courage, your vision, and your faith in yourself. And so they project their fear onto you in the form of critique and skepticism. Their judgments are not about your worth. They are a reflection of their own limitations. Recognizing this allows you to detach emotionally, to protect your peace, and to reclaim your power. They may attempt to guilt you into following their expectations, shaping your decisions according to their narrow worldview. They may whisper doubts into your ears when you're vulnerable, or celebrate your success begrudgingly, offering half-hearted praise while hiding envy. Every step you take towards greatness exposes them to their own inadequacies. And they respond with criticism disguised as concern. This is not friendship. This is not loyalty. This is a subtle form of sabotage. The danger of keeping these people close is that their judgment becomes internalized. You begin to question yourself, hesitate to take risks, and doubt your instincts. The fear of criticism can paralyze action and stall progress. But the truth is this: the opinions of those who do not have your best interest at heart are irrelevant to your destiny. Their judgments are not a reflection of your ability. They are a reflection of their own fear. Removing judgmental people from your inner circle is not cruelty. It is self-respect. It is the act of protecting your confidence, your ambition, and your growth. You are not responsible for soothing the insecurities of others, and their need to judge does not obligate you to shrink. Your life, your dreams, and your purpose are too important to be filtered through someone else's critical lens. Imagine entering 2026 surrounded by people who celebrate your every step, who empower you to grow, who encourage you to dream without limits. Imagine the freedom of moving forward without hesitation, without fear, without the weight of constant judgment. That clarity, that empowerment, and that peace are your birthright. Take courage now. Step boldly into the new year. Release those who judge instead of support. Surround yourself with voices that uplift, inspire, and challenge you in love. Protect your dreams, your growth, and your destiny. 2026 is a year of elevation, breakthrough, and unstoppable progress. And judgmental voices have no place in the life you are meant to live. As we stand on the edge of a new year, it is time to reflect on the company we keep, the energy we allow into our lives, and the boundaries we are willing to set for our own growth. Life is too short, too precious, and too sacred to carry people who drain, diminish, or distract us from our purpose. Every person in your circle either elevates you or limits you, and the choice to decide who stays and who goes is not just necessary, it is urgent. If you want to step into 2026 fully alive, fully focused, and fully empowered, you must surround yourself with those who celebrate your victories, support your vision, and nurture your dreams, rather than questioning, criticizing, or abandoning you when life gets tough. We cannot allow disguised negativity, envy, or subtle sabotage to shadow the brilliance that is meant to shine in the coming year. Some people will smile when you succeed, but secretly hope you fail. Others will demand your energy without giving back, leaving you exhausted and questioning your own strength. There are those who only show up when it is convenient, abandoning you during storms that test your courage. And there are the voices that judge, critique, and instill doubt, masking their insecurity as concern. Recognizing these patterns, naming them for what they are, and taking decisive action to release them from your life is not cruelty, it is self-respect, it is wisdom, and it is necessary for your peace and your destiny. The truth is this: your time, your energy, and your purpose are sacred. Every day you allow someone who does not genuinely support your growth to remain in your life is a day stolen from your potential. Every minute spent entertaining their negativity, absorbing their criticism, or giving in to their demands is a minute diverted from your breakthrough. 2026 is a year for clarity, focus, and elevation, and your circle must reflect the vision you are chasing. Surround yourself with people who lift, who empower, who inspire, and who remain steadfast even when the winds of life grow fierce. This is a call to courage, to decisive action, and to unwavering self-respect. It is a call to release anything and anyone who stands in the way of your purpose. The process may feel uncomfortable, even painful at first, but every moment spent in freedom, peace, and alignment with your vision will be worth it. Your life is meant to be lived boldly, intentionally, and without apology. Your dreams demand that you guard them fiercely and that you step into the new year unencumbered by those who would diminish your spirit. So as 2026 approaches, take stock, take action, and step boldly into your destiny. Eliminate what does not serve your growth. Protect your energy, preserve your peace, and elevate your circle. The life you are meant to live, the breakthroughs you are destined to achieve, and the joy you are entitled to experience are waiting for you. Choose courage. Choose freedom, choose greatness. Thank you. And may God bless you abundantly as you step into your new year with clarity, power, and unstoppable momentum.